the United Kingdom is facing a stark new reality. The era of peace is over. Government ministers now speak of a shift from a post-war to a pre-war world. In response, Britain has launched its most significant strategic overhaul in a generation, pivoting the entire military towards one clear goal: warfighting readiness. A landmark 2025 Strategic Defence Review has set a new course, backed by the largest increase in defence spending since the Cold War. But behind the ambition lies a dangerous truth. Decades of cuts have hollowed out the armed forces, leaving them with a workforce crisis, depleted munitions, and a force that, while technologically advanced, may lack the sheer mass and resilience for a major, high-intensity war. This is the story of a nation conceptually preparing for war, but not yet materially prepared for it. This is the story of Britain's decade of risk. For 30 years, UK defence was shaped by the peace dividend, the belief that a major state-on-state war in Europe was a thing of the past. The armed forces were downsized and retooled for counterinsurgency and stabilization operations. The 2021 Integrated Review acknowledged the return of great power competition, labeling Russia an acute threat. But it was the full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022 that shattered all remaining illusions. The conflict proved that industrial-scale warfare was a brutal present-day reality. This forced a rapid rethink culminating in the 2025 Strategic Defence Review. Described as a root and branch review, its message is unequivocal. The UK must shift from discretionary crisis management to a NATO-first posture of warfighting readiness, prepared for a more contested and volatile world. The single greatest challenge to Britain's new strategy is its people. As of 2025, the full-time regular army numbers just over 73,000 soldiers, its smallest size since the Napoleonic era. For years, more people have left the military than have joined, creating what the government's own review calls a workforce crisis. All three services are below their required strength, with the RAF facing a shortfall of 13%. The government has responded by halting further cuts and committing £1.5 billion to fix notoriously poor military housing, a key factor in falling morale. But the lack of numbers has a direct impact on combat credibility. The former head of the Army, General Sir Patrick Sanders, has warned that the professional force is too small to withstand the casualties of a peer-level conflict, stating that Britain would need to mobilize a citizen army in a war with a nation like Russia. The British Army is undergoing a radical transformation. The Future Soldier program is creating more agile, self-sufficient brigade combat teams. At their core are three state-of-the-art armored vehicle programs. The Challenger 3, with its new NATO standard 120 mm smoothbore gun, is designed to be the most lethal tank in the alliance. The Ajax family of vehicles provides a cutting-edge, all-weather reconnaissance capability. And the Boxer will be the new, highly mobile and protected mechanized infantry vehicle. These platforms are world-class, but the strategy has prioritized technology over numbers. The Army will field just 148 Challenger 3 tanks. Analysts warn this is not enough for a credible, sustainable armored division in a war of attrition. It creates a force with a glass jaw, incredibly powerful on day one of a conflict, but potentially too brittle to survive a long fight. The Royal Navy presents a study in contrasts. Below the waves, its submarine service is arguably its most potent military asset. The nuclear deterrent is being modernized with 4 new Dreadnought-class ballistic missile submarines, the largest ever built for the Navy. They are supported by the Astute-class Hunter-Killer submarines, among the most advanced in the world. But on the surface, the fleet is under strain. The number of frigates and destroyers has shrunk, and readiness is a major concern. In mid-2025, only 1 of 6 advanced Type 45 destroyers was actively deployed. While new Type 26 and Type 31 frigates are being built, they won't be fully in service until well into the 2030s. This creates a critical gap, stretching the Navy's ability to protect its aircraft carriers and meet global commitments. The Royal Air Force is betting on technological superiority. Its combat power is centered on the fifth-generation F-35B stealth fighter, with a long-term commitment to procure 138 jets. The fleet will soon include the F-35A variant, which could allow the UK to rejoin NATO's nuclear deterrence mission with aircraft for the first time in 30 years. Looking further ahead, the UK is partnering with Italy and Japan on the Global Combat Air Program to develop a sixth-generation fighter, known as Tempest, for service from 2035. The strategy is to complement these crewed jets with uncrewed loyal wingman drones and other advanced systems. But this long-term vision creates a near-term risk. If a major war breaks out in the next decade, the RAF would field a small, highly capable, but potentially outnumbered force. The war in Ukraine has been a brutal lesson in industrial warfare. The conflict has consumed ammunition at a rate far exceeding the West's entire production capacity, exposing the UK's critically low stockpiles. In response, the government is making a landmark investment to revitalize Britain's defence industry. The 2025 SDR announced £1.5 billion to build at least 6 new munitions factories in the UK. The goal is to create an always-on production capacity that can be scaled up rapidly in a crisis. Orders have been placed to deliver an 8-fold increase in the production of 155 artillery shells. It is a fundamental admission that in modern war, the factory floor is as important as the front line. In this new era, alliances are not a choice, they are a strategic necessity. A NATO-first policy is the bedrock of UK defence. Britain contributes across all domains, from leading the forward battle group in Estonia to assigning its nuclear deterrent to the alliance's defence. Beyond NATO, the AUKUS pact with the US and Australia is a generational commitment, focused on developing nuclear-powered submarines and sharing advanced technologies like AI and hypersonics. And in Northern Europe, the UK leads the 10-nation Joint Expeditionary Force, or JEF, a high-readiness coalition designed to respond rapidly to crises in the High North and Baltic Sea region. These partnerships are a critical force multiplier, compensating for national shortfalls in size and scale. The United Kingdom has woken up to a more dangerous world. It has correctly identified the threats and set a new, ambitious course for its defense. But the verdict is clear. The UK is ready for a short-term crisis. It is not yet ready for a protracted, industrial-scale war. The armed forces lack the personnel, the stockpiles, and the industrial depth to sustain a high-intensity conflict against a peer adversary. This gap between ambition and reality creates a decade of risk. In the years ahead, as old equipment is retired before new platforms are fully operational, the UK will be at its most vulnerable. The challenge now is one of relentless execution, to rebuild the ranks, restock the arsenals, and re-energize the industrial base with a true sense of urgency. The clock is ticking.